Alright guys, welcome back to the Minneapolis build part 2. Hi, this is Captain Cuz 6951 and we are going to show you how I am going to attempt to do this deck. Now in the last video I mixed these three colors. This is Vallejo Air, this is US Sand, this is Camouflage Brown, and this is Sand parentheses Ivy. So what I'm going to try and do is to dry brush these colors on the deck and see how that looks. You know, I got a lot of these decks coming and I want to see which one's going to work the best. So we're going to start off with the lightest one, which is this Sand Brown, and I did use a little bit earlier to test it and see how it's going to work. So I'll put a little bit here in this coffee can lid. And I got a fairly stiff brush here. I'm going to dip it in that paint and I'm going to wipe some of it off. And then we're just going to go ahead and dry brush this on. See how it looks. Alright guys, welcome back. The color that you are looking at right now is not the exact color that is on this deck. It's more darker brown and beige than what you see, because what I see on my screen looks like it's yellow, but it's not yellow. I need to still darken this guy up a bit, and what I did to darken it up was I took another Vallejo paint, and this is dark brown, and I put one drop in this guy and several drops of thinner and just kind of gave everything a wash, and I'll show you that right now. And then we're going to start doing these guns. Yay, my favorite part. And I'll show you what we need to do to put this guy together. So let me just dip a little bit in here, and again it's sort of like a dry brush. Take most of it off, and we'll just go ahead and paint over this. In this scale, it would be very hard. I mean, I've seen guys do individual planks. In this scale, I don't think so. Now you can see it's getting pretty dark. Again, I don't know what the wood deck's supposed to look like. This is before my time. But anyhow, there it goes, right there. And that guy will sit up there like that. And then we'll start adding guns and whatever. All my structures are built, as you can see back here. All the main structures. Now I'm going to start on all the little teeny weeny stuff. So with all that said, let's be back in a minute. Okay guys, we're gonna start putting these guys together here, these guns, and what it says we need to use is number B6 and number B2, And it says we need to make 8 of those. So we look on our B sprue, and here is the what number was that? The B6 right here, and here is the B2. So there's 4 on this sprue, and there's probably 4 on another screw. I went ahead and painted these in the gunmetal. I don't know if I'm going to keep them that color. I might, just to give the gray, the gray of the ship a little break of color. So we'll see. Anyhow, we'll start with this. And how I'm going to do this actually is I am going to take the guns off and mount them in here while this is on the sprue. Then when they dry, I will take them off. I think that would be an easy way rather than try and hold this separate or with a tweezer or something like that. So let's go. Let's see if it'll work. Alright guys, as you can see, I have finished 8 guns. There's 4 here, and there is 4 here. So, I'm going to let those set up. They were pretty easy to do, doing it like I just did it. So now, I need to let them set up, and I'll cut them out and install them in this part of the deck. There'll be 6 up here. So, we'll see how this all goes, but right now we're going to get into the main guns, and I'll show you what's got to be done on the main guns. I'll move these out of the way so they don't get hurt. Put them on the other side of my work area. Now, on these guns, we need to install, let's see how it would be the best to do it this way. Yeah. We need to install these covers right here, or vents, or whatever they are. So, in order to do that, we need to drill some holes. And they give you all the detents, and I don't know if you guys are going to actually see those, but there are detents in there of where they want the holes drilled. So, they do not give you a drill size, a drill bit size, so I had to pick one that kind of fits in the hole, and as you can see on this one here, I actually marked the holes that need to get drilled out. So, I picked out this drill bit right here, and I am going to use my cordless. I'm going to zoom you guys out a bit. Here you go. Sorry for the wobbly, but I'm on a really weak boom thing here. I might have to upgrade that so it doesn't wobble as much. Anyhow, I need to put on my extra eyeballs. And here we go. We'll do the one that's marked first. I like this because it's quiet. Alright guys, as we continue on with this, apparently I did the right thing because all of those guys fit in the holes like they're supposed to. Now, we're going to also add some of these same type of dealies. I don't know what they are, hatches maybe, on the sides of these gun setups. Excuse me. It also says to use the same ones that are on here, except I need to clean the pins off of the back, which I had already done. So, I do not like adding glue on top of paint. It usually does not work. So, what I do is I scuff up the area, as you can see right there, where I'm going to put a part. And hopefully that makes it adhere a little bit better. So let me do the other side. I don't take off very much, just enough that the glue adhere to the plastic and not to the paint. So just a little bit of piece right there. Just like that. Okay. Then I need to hold it best place I can. So I'm going to get one of my squeezy tweezers and see if we can hold it right there. Alright, so now, once that's done, I'll use one of these throwaway paintbrushes, and we will apply some of this glue. Now, it's funny, they say that you need to use one number for one side and one number for the other side, but these guys are exactly the same, so I don't know what the difference will be, but I'll follow the instructions as they say. So, we will go ahead and do this guy, and we put him right there, just a drip. And then, this is the side that gets one of the numbers. Come here, you. That's the right way. And we put him right there. And we will push him down a little bit, so we've got a secure. Straighten him out. Alright, come on. Now what's happening is there's some paint on the back of this piece that I'm putting on here, so it's actually slipping around. I'm just going to let that set up right there. And we will do these two the same way. Let's see. Give me another squeezy. It's funny, I put all of these away yesterday, and now I can't. Now I can't find one. Here we go. Here's one. All right. And we'll do the same with him. Just on the back. But before we do that, I'll scuff him up a bit. Scuff. Alright, that's one side. And to the other side. Alright, I'm going to go off camera and finish all of these guys. And I'll show you what they look like. And then I'll also start to mount them where they need to be mounted. So, that being said, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, now we're going to get the real fun stuff. We're going to put the barrels inside the main gun turrets. And hopefully we will wind up with something that looks like that. So, oops. No, we gotta go that way. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to use my toothpick to apply some glue into the holes that these guys got to go. I put the triangle or the blast bag with the triangle up, so it gives me a level gun. So, that being said, let's see how easily this is going to be. Ha ha ha. So, got my extra eyeballs on. And I got a little bit of glue on there. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to carry on with this build, and we're going to do these, I guess they're lifeboats, I guess. And there's two of them, and they will both sit on the deck here. So, let's do that. I already pulled them off the sprues. I'm going to give them a little quick paint job. I'm going to paint the hull of that little boat with this camouflage brown. It's a Vallejo. And I'm just going to brush these on. And then I'm going to do these little, I guess they're tarps. I think they're tarps. I'm going to do that in camo green. So, just put a dab in here. It's not going to take very much. I might have to do 2 coats on it. I'm not sure. Then I will go ahead and put a dab in here. There you go. I also bought this cool little holder for all these Vallejo paints. One of these days I'll give a tour of my little station that I have going on here. Alright, here we go. That's a nice color. I told you it's not going to take very much. It's definitely going to need 2 coats. I don't have any primer, so I'm just going right over the plastic, and that's probably why it's going to need 2 coats. Let that dry up. I do have a little thing of water here. I can clean my brush. Alright, and then we'll do these with the camo green. I am going out today to buy a compressor. I didn't want to spend the money, but I guess I have to. Because I definitely want to start doing some airbrushing and do some camouflage type painting. Alright, that's that. Again, this is probably going to need a 2nd coat. That first one came out okay. I really need to get myself some really good paint brushes also. There you go. I'll leave it on thick. It'll level out by itself. You know, on my my Model Railroad channel, most of the paints we can buy are right from the local department store, which is Walmart. And the bottles of paint are usually 50 cents per bottle, $1 maximum. But I'm noticing that a lot of these colors that I have to use here are not available, so I have to buy all of these different Vallejo paints. So, let that dry for a minute. I'll go back to my other brush, and let's see if we can get a little bit more on here. There you go. And I really shouldn't be painting the bottom of this because it's got to get glued to that. Alright, so these 2 items are painted. This guy is almost finished. Get ready to mount him on the deck. I got a couple small items I need to put up there. All the guns are on. Let me show you that real quick. Clean this brush first. There we go. Alright, so this guy has all 8 guns on it. I know they're real hard to see, but there's 4 up here and there's 4 around the perimeter. And I have my cranes installed already. So I'm just waiting for these guys to dry. Let me assemble those and we can put that together. And that would be the last, except for, yeah, this gets 2 more small parts I'm going to get right now. And we'll put those on and that will be ready to be mounted onto the deck. Be back in a few. Alright guys, I'm getting ready to add the final details to this model. And one of those details is the lifeboats. So, trying to assemble these, and I'm trying to put, let's see if I can get a better shot on this. I'm trying to put this guy right here onto this guy right here. And I notice, let's see, how close can I get? Yeah, that'll work right there. I notice that, you see the white thing, if you look directly across from that, you see that little hole right there? Well, the bracket that they give you, which is this guy, hardly even fit in there. So what I had to do is with a 0.5 millimeter, 0.5 millimeter drill bit is to drill those holes out so this would fit inside there and have a good sturdy connection. Anyhow, after all of that was done, this is what I wound up with. Let me get the camera. We do it this way, and then we can do it that way. So this needs to get painted and then installed. Now it's pretty cool how they have this done. The bracket on the white side right here, that actually attaches to the catapults. If I can pick one up, there are two holes on the well, not even holes, but little detents that those get hooked up on. So I can't install these until these are ready to get installed, because they have to be installed all pretty much at the same time. Also, looks like my master's kind of, oh no, he's cool. All right. Look like my master's falling backwards. When these are done, I can marry all of this stuff and this build will be complete. So basically what I'm saying is the next time you see this model, it will be in all its glory. So stay tuned and we will be back in a little bit. Alright guys, one of the details I decided to add from the photo etched parts is going to be this guy. This guy here is the anchor chain. And I figure, okay, well, I can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little paint. And after it's dry, we'll go ahead and install it on the ship. One of the other details I was telling you about. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to be using this medium gunship gray. It's a Vallejo paint. And we'll give it a little shake, shake, shake. Put a little bit in my homemade palette. And we don't need very much. That's probably all we're going to need. Of course, I got to paint both sides, so I got to wait for one side to dry before I do the other side. But here we go. Do on the tip of the brush. And yeah. Unfortunately, I do not have any primer. I need to get some primer. But you know what? With the brass or whatever this is showing through, it could look like rust. You know what I'm saying? So actually, I might even leave it like that because it does look like it's a little rusty. Yeah. I won't have to paint the other side because the other side goes on the deck. Anyhow, I'll let those dry up and we'll see what it looks like. I think it's going to look like it's rusty. Of course, you guys can't see it very well. But in life, I can see the brass showing through the paint. Anyhow, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys and gals, what you're looking at now is the USS Minnesota in all of its glory. There's some parts that took vacations, I have no clue where they went to, and there are some of the barrels on these smaller guns that broke or got bent. I'm not going to try and fix them or replace them or anything like that. Parts are so small that you really can't even see them. My catapults are on, my cranes are there, my masts, everything is there. I think it looks good. Now, the wood deck on this was done. I had gotten some comments on my previous ship build, which was the Pittsburgh. They said the deck should have been darker. And maybe so, but this deck was done way before that comment ever came in. I do not want to touch it at this point. The only detail I used out of the photo etch kit was the anchor chain, and I don't know, yeah, I guess you could see it right there. Let me see if we get a better shot this way. And let's see if I zoom in here, and let's see if we get a better shot. Yeah, there you go. You can see the anchor chain right there. So overall, this guy came out pretty good. I just wish I had the top of the smokestack for that one. I'll keep looking for it. It might turn up, it may not, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, this is the first of the light cruisers that I will be putting on my diorama. Alright guys, what you're looking at right now are the first two support ships for my battle group for the USS Saratoga. Front is the USS Minneapolis, and behind her is her big sister, the USS Pittsburgh. Hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. Captain Cuz 6951 out.